Hi, here we're going to explore some of the photo editors that we're going to use in our Chrome apps. So you want to make sure you're in the Chrome browser, and you could either click on this link that I provided you, or another way to do it, I'd suggest this so you can learn to use the Chrome web store more often. So say you're here, and then look, you can play down here on the lower. These are where all of my apps that I've added. And to add those apps, on the far right, way in the bottom, it says Web Store. If you click on Web Store, you'll find thousands of free web applications that will run directly in your Chrome browser. So the one we're going to look for, it's called Pixlr, Pixlr Editor, and click on that, and then just wait just a second. And here you have again, you want to make sure it's not clicked on extensions, because that's something different, and you want to go back and go over here to apps, because apps is the whole program, that the editor itself. And I'm going to add it to Chrome, and I'll click add, and you'll see something. It looks like the old when you installed programs, but this is really fast, and it's just adding it to my Chrome. So here it's added. So now when I come to open, and I'll do it again so you see, close that. When I open a new tab in Chrome, and I'm down in my apps, and let's see, if you only have a few, it's easier to find them. And you can drag and move them around. So if you want to reorganize all your photo ones, if you're more organized than I am, you can do that. So I'm going to open that by clicking on it. And now this really amazing photo editor tool, free, comes up. And there's lots of options. You could start with a blank screen where you could actually paint and draw, or you could upload a picture from a computer, or if you have an address on the web. So there's lots of choices. And from my computer, and here again at my default is I go to my pictures folder, and I go to open up a folder, and I'm going to bring in this flower. And there you go. So now on the left, these are the tools I have. The default I think is a crop. So to crop, I'll click, drag, and now you can do lots of, you could add text, and then up here there's some more options for filters where you can swirl, vignettes, art poster. So look at the sort of things you can do. You can add a little, you can adjust that with color. So I'm going to cancel that. Actually thought I canceled that. If I didn't, I can undo it and look at more filters, so you could play with that. And the other thing that I find very interesting with this one is that you could add layers, and layers, those who do edit photos, is very important. So I'm going to actually add another image as another layer. So I'm going to bring in another photo of my famous little Twinkie chicken here, and it's a smaller photo, but notice over here in layers I can select which layer I actually want to be working on, and I'm going to be working on, again, the chicken photo, the front layer 1, because what I want to do, so this is called the magic wand, and when you click on something with the magic wand, let me make that a little bigger, tolerance, and click on that, and you hit delete. It selects similar colors and it deletes them. It's really cool. So now what I want to do, let me click off of that, and I could get an eraser, and the eraser can help clean that up. So what's underneath it, the layer, is the flower, and the chicken is just layered on top. And what I've done, I've removed the background for there we go. So it looks like my little chicken is right in the center of this flower. And again, if I click on this, I can move this around and put him right in the middle. But here's the color again. So you have a color wheel. So if you click the color and then you hover over a color in your picture, it actually selects that, and then I'll click OK. I'm going to paintbrush it. So there. So I've brushed. There's different ways to do it. So I'm really just sort of taking the same color, and that again, here's text. So I'm going to type in my text, and here it is. I don't know. It's the hardest part is thinking the content. And you can change the text font here. I'm going to drag this little box over here. I think there's a way to do that. Yep, drag it up. And here's the selector. There's a lot of fonts to choose from. And we'll just click that. And you can change the color of the font this way. So here we'll do that. I'm going to hit OK and OK. And again, if you want to move that, you go back to this little plus. And I'm going to drag that over there. And so there's our text, there's our picture, and if I want to save it, I'll go to File and Save, but when you hit Save, I'm not sure I know where it's going. There we go. So I'm going to rename it Flour Chicken, something I can know, and here's the format. I'm going to leave it as a JPEG, and here's a choice of where I want to save it. Save it. Let's see if we can save it to my computer. If it takes too long, you can always save it to your computer. And I'm going to save it in my pictures library in that same folder. And there we go.